Restaurant workers, what do customers do or say that you secretly hate? Back when I was tending bar at this divish place, there was a regular who had this thing where he called all the bartenders easy money. Didn't matter if it was me, one of the other guys, or even a fill-in from another bar. Every time he came in, it was, "Hey, easy money." I didn't really mind it. Honestly, I thought it was kind of funny in a weird, harmless way. But one of the other bartenders absolutely hated it. You could see the way his jaw tightened every time the guy said it. He'd try to brush it off, but after a couple rounds, you could tell it was wearing him thin. One night, things just boiled over. I don't remember exactly what started it. Maybe the guy said it one too many times. Maybe there was some other comment. But the bartender finally snapped. He told the guy to knock it off, and the guy responded by grinning and saying it again, louder. Before I knew it, they were squaring off, throwing what I can only describe as the most uncoordinated blows I've ever seen. If you could even call them blows. More like wild arm flails that occasionally connected with a shoulder or grazed the side of a head. Nobody got hurt. There wasn't enough technique or force behind anything to do damage, but it was still a sight to see. A couple of the regulars pulled them apart, and the guy ended up leaving. I never saw him come back after that. Life went on, shifts blended together, and eventually I moved away. Fast forward about 10 years. I was back in my hometown for a visit and decided to stop by that same bar just to see if it was still there. To my surprise, not only was it still open, but when I walked in, I immediately recognized the bartender behind the counter. It was him, same who'd gone after the easy money guy all those years ago. I ordered a drink, chatted for a bit, and then decided to have some fun. I leaned in, grinned, and said, "Hey, easy money, get me a beer." The look on his face was priceless. For a split second, I could see the old reflex kick in. He looked like he was ready to vault over the bar and start swinging again. But then something shifted. Recognition clicked in, and he froze, narrowing his eyes at me. "Wait a minute. Do I know you?" I laughed and reminded him about that night a decade earlier. Slowly, the memory came back to him, and he started laughing too. We ended up talking for hours. He told me he had eventually bought the bar a few years after I left. Said he'd always loved the place, but hated dealing with certain types of customers. Buying it meant he got to decide who he served and who he showed the door. He admitted that he still hated being called things like chief or boss. Said it made him feel like he was being talked down to, like people were trying to be overly familiar without actually respecting him. And easy money? That one still rubbed him the wrong way, though he laughed about it now. We reminisced about the old regulars, the wild nights, and the occasional fights that were more ridiculous than dangerous. He told me the bar had changed a bit, cleaned up in some ways, rougher in others, but it was still the same place at heart. I left that night thinking about how strange it was to come full circle like that. Years ago, I'd watched him nearly lose it over a silly nickname, and now here he was, running the place, choosing who could even walk through the door. Some things change, but some things, like his dislike for easy money, stay exactly the same.